Have you ever heard the term tiger parent? It refers to parents who adopt an extremely strict, high pressure parenting style, pushing their children to excel in academics, sports, and other activities. It's meant to ensure success, but at what cost? Some kids thrive, but for others, the pressure can be unbearable. Today, we're talking about Jennifer Pan, a young woman raised in a household where failure was not an option. On the outside, she seemed to embody the perfect daughter. But behind the scenes, Jennifer was drowning under the weight of her parents' expectations. And when her lies caught up with her, the consequences were deadly. This is the story of how a seemingly perfect life crumbled into a horrific murder plot that shocked the world. Jennifer Pan's parents, Bish and Han, immigrated to Canada from Vietnam in search of a better life. Like many immigrant families, they worked hard. Han was employed at an auto parts factory and Bish at a car parts manufacturer. They were determined to give their children the opportunities they never had. And with that came expectations, high expectations. For the Pan children, mediocrity wasn't tolerated. Jennifer and her brother Felix were enrolled in a slew of extracurricular activities from a young age. Jennifer took piano lessons, figure skating, and martial arts, all while being expected to also excel academically. The Pan household was built on discipline and structure. Jennifer's parents held incredibly high standards, especially for Jennifer, their firstborn. They envisioned a future where she would attend a top university, become a doctor, and take care of the family. There was no room for deviation. Failure wasn't an option. Jennifer's early years were filled with promise. She did well in school initially, earning high grades and excelling in her extracurriculars. But as the pressure mounted, cracks began to show. By high school, Jennifer's grades were slipping, but rather than confessing her struggles, she made the first of many decisions that would spiral into chaos. She started lying. Her parents demanded to see her report cards, so she began forging them. The lies grew larger and more complicated. She failed her calculus class and dropped out of high school. But again, instead of facing her parents' wrath, Jennifer created an elaborate web of lies. She forged her high school diploma and told her parents she had been accepted to the University of Toronto with a scholarship. She said she was studying pharmacology, a respectable career that would make her parents proud. In reality, she was spending her days at cafes, meeting up with friends, and avoiding any confrontation. But Jennifer wasn't just lying about school. At the age 22, she was still in a relationship with her high school sweetheart, Daniel Wong. Her parents had never approved of Daniel. They viewed him as a distraction. So Jennifer kept him a secret, just as she had kept her academic failures hidden. The double life weighed heavily on Jennifer. She wasn't just lying about her education. She was lying about nearly every aspect of her life. She pretended to have jobs, lied about winning scholarships, and even claimed she had started working at a hospital. The lies just kept growing. Jennifer's parents were strict, but they weren't blind. Eventually, Han became suspicious of his daughter's stories. When he discovered that she had never graduated high school, never attended university, and had been lying for years, he was furious. They took away her phone, restricted her from seeing Daniel, and monitored her every move. Jennifer was effectively grounded, living under her parents' roof with no freedom. For Jennifer, this was unbearable. She felt like a prisoner in her own home, constantly under watch and suffocating from the pressure. Trapped and feeling like there was no way out, Jennifer started to imagine an escape. At first, it was just a fantasy. What if her parents were gone? What if she could finally live her life the way she wanted, free from their control? But what began as an idle thought soon turned into something more sinister. Jennifer started seriously considering murder. She envisioned a world where she could be free of her parents, without their constant demands, and be with Daniel. Jennifer enlisted Daniel's help, and together they began to hatch a plan. The idea was to stage a robbery gone wrong, a home invasion that would end with the deaths of her parents. Jennifer's involvement would remain hidden, and she could finally live her life without the weight of their expectations. In her mind, this was the only way out. Daniel connected Jennifer with some associates, and soon the pieces began to fall into place. Jennifer promised a payout of $10,000 for the job. She would leave the door unlocked, and the men would come in, do the job, and leave without a trace. On the night of November 8, 2010, Jennifer unlocked the door, went upstairs to her room, and waited. Her parents were downstairs, unaware of the terror that was about to unfold. At approximately 10 p.m., 3 men entered the house. Han and Beach Pan were ambushed. Han was shot, but miraculously survived. Beach, however, was killed instantly. Jennifer called 911, pretending to be hysterical, claiming that her parents had been attacked during a robbery. She told the police she had been tied up, but managed to get her phone and call for help. At first, Jennifer played the role of the traumatized victim well, but it didn't take long for cracks in her story to appear. The police were suspicious of how calm and composed she seemed, despite the brutal attack on her family. When investigators pulled her phone records, they found suspicious text messages between Jennifer and Daniel, messages that outlined the plot. Jennifer was brought in for questioning, and after hours of pressure, she finally broke down and confessed. She had orchestrated the murder of her own mother and the attempted murder of her father, all in a desperate bid for freedom. The trial of Jennifer Pan captivated the nation. In court, Jennifer tried to paint herself as a victim of her parents' controlling behavior. She claimed that their strict rules had driven her to the breaking point. But the jury didn't buy it. Jennifer was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years. Her father, Han Pan, survived the attack. But his life would never be the same. He had lost his wife and was left to grapple with the reality that his own daughter had plotted to kill him. Jennifer Pan's story leaves us with so many questions about family, pressure, and control. It's easy to wonder how things could have turned out differently if only the family dynamic had been different, or if Jennifer had found a way to break free without resorting to such extreme measures. But personally, I believe Jennifer acted like a spoiled teen. After all, she was 24 years old when she committed the crime. If she felt so suffocated by her parents, she could have just left. If you found this case compelling, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what case you'd like to hear about next. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.